All right, good evening. This is the CSRN podcast, a weekend review where we come to you live. We're streaming live from Mott Branch Library, where they roll out the red, black, and green carpet every week. What we're going to do right now is put on our intro video. That way you can comment, like, and share, and let everyone know that the CSRN weekend review is on. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. Our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library, and we talk about the things that we've done last week, the things that we're doing right now, which is talking about Bryan Chambers and C.D. Dotson Chambers. We got her coming on in a little bit, and some of the things that we got coming up in the future. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey. 10 years ago, Jody, they had an idea that just ordinary people could speak truth to power. They didn't have to be pastors, preachers, politicians, or professionals. Just have a bullhorn and some facts and get it in. And here we are 10 years later. And we're going to be having some special things coming up, celebrating CSRN and some of the things that we've done and some of the things that we got planned. Oh, what am I wearing today? Today I have on my CSRN Toledo shirt. It says All Black Lives Matter, justice or else. I've got my yellow and I guess clear beads on. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and justice or else. And I'm going to pass it to Jody. If you can stop sharing and commenting and sharing, introduce yourself. What do you got on? And then we'll get into our mission statement, guiding principles, and hey, we'll start the show.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, the treasurer of this wonderful organization. And for those of you out there, because I do realize I get some questions like, you're not paying attention and blah, blah, blah. Why are you touching your phone?
Yeah, that is right.
I'm not paying anybody to do this. One thing about our show is if you see us and you see our commercials, we are a community-based group, which means we self-fund or we fundraise. We don't sponsor or stuff like that. So what you see me doing is making sure that that tactile, you're talking to us. You're not talking to a bot. You're not talking to some paid kid that's just got hundreds of accounts and bots and stuff like that. It's me. I like the tactile feeling because, I mean, thousands and thousands of people every single month, and to let them know that even in that moment you matter is good. So comments and stuff.
But he still be texting. He still be on that far. I can't do it. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how you do it, but that's why we got people following us. That's why we got people viewing us. All right. So I ain't gonna mess it up.
Yep. I'm a big proponent of I'm trying to figure out a better way for society and stuff. Learn how to do it yourself.
That's right.
Stop asking for handouts. Stop asking to be taken care of. My generation, we went out, we got busted knuckles and knees and all that stuff, and we just got back up and did it again until we got it right. I don't think I heard something the other day is if you fail, try again. And a better way to say that, if you fail, find out why. I'm not going to keep knocking my head against the door. And yeah, I could try it again all the time till I'm blue in my face, but this is 10 years. 10 years, you get educated not to touch the fire or figure out, maybe I need a mitten on this time. I still got to get that thing that's in the fire, but I've adapted to it. So this is us in a way adapting. For those of you out there listening, whether it be on Spotify, YouTube, or Facebook, because we know around this time, Eastern Standard Time, you got kids, you might be doing stuff.
That's right.
Want you distracted driving. There's enough of that for everybody that was out at the air clips yesterday. No distracted driving and stuff like that. So I am a big brown bear of a man that's covered in tattoos and crystals and bones and stones from doing. Not actually hoping that somebody was gonna sponsor me or like me enough. I just went out there and did it and failed a whole bunch of times. So that's what these are. These are the people that I met that saw those failures and still loved on me loudly. The places when I'm at somewhere, this is precious. So I'm not trying to argue or fight with nobody or get nothing snatched or do anything out the way, because if I lose one of these, I'll never get it back. And that means a lot to me.
And I suggest that you don't run up on them. All right.
Yeah,
I suggest that. All right.
Some other stuff
it ain't gonna end well.
I carry a satchel for a reason.
Yeah, it ain't gonna end well.
But I don't like being violent. I'm an Aries, and I don't like being violent. I learned nearly a decade ago to use my words versus my fist and my size and everything, and it's been so much more gratifying. Yeah, I don't have many people afraid of me in the same way, but there are people afraid of me because they can't understand why I do it without everything that they need to, their degrees, their cars, their money, their family and stuff. And I'm just like, hey, y'all, I'm here.
I think they're scrolling that mission statement thing on the bottom. I don't,
So for the people out there that want to know, how do we get to 10 years? How do we do something that, is going to be a decade long or longer? This is how you do it. We have what is our foundation and our walls, which is our mission statement and
our guiding principles.
Right. So best way to show you is to do. I'm also trying not to time out so I can get to all the people that may be trying to respond to us too, because this is a difficult job. 892 groups and 26 pages that I do myself. But anyway, we are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer, of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable, yes, accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
All right, and what we're going to get into right now are our guiding principles. I'm having something like CSRN where everybody is a protester, all right? And any one of us could do this by ourselves and be really successful. So how do you bring the Julians, the Jodys, and all of these people together and still make it fit? Well, our guiding principles help us to not implode from within. And it goes like this: all Black lives matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe?
Ashe.
That means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe?
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe?
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe?
Ashe.
Principled struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe?
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe?
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe?
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe?
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe?
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe?
Ashe.
Hey, Jody, before we get to our first commercial, I wanted to really go over our Kwanzaa word of the day. I'm a member of Toledo Kwanzaa House, and every year we put together a Kwanzaa celebration, 7 days, and our word today is Ujamaa. That's collective work and responsibility, and that means to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and solve them together. So that's our Kwanzaa word of the day. What we're going to do.
Well, awesome. And I always forget because I never really describe the stuff that I'm wearing because I don't really think of clothes like that and stuff. But because everybody was like, well, you described your tattoos and crystals. What are you doing in the chair? So I'm wearing a black button-up shirt, double-breasted pocket, which I always do, which keeps the other artifacts of the earth with me. And the shirt that I'm wearing is our very first, when we knew, we were kind of unstoppable, is the event that we held when the Nazis came to Toledo for the second time. We held a Break the Chains event. You can kind of see it and stuff like that. So this is almost a 10-year-old shirt.
That was Black Lives Matter Day.
Black Lives Matter Day, which we've gotten city resolutions and a whole bunch of stuff.
I think we got one of our, I don't know if they can see the poster behind you. We took the picture in, was it April of 2015?
Yeah, it's way over there on the other side of the flag. That was Black Lives Matter Day. Back then, didn't really like cameras. I still don't like cameras, but I adapted. So if you go back to that day, you probably won't see too much of me.
Yeah. You were, I don't know. You were always a unique individual. I'll just say it like that because I know you still carry that satchel with you. All right. I would just say it like this. Hey, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with our sister C.D. Dotson Chambers. We're going to talk about Bryan Chambers and what's going down tomorrow. So stay tuned. This is CSRN Podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
Canal.
En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from my branch library. And whenever we have a special guest, man, that's a nice shirt you got on there. Man, I should have wore mine. We've got a routine and we've got a tradition, a custom that we ask who you are. What are you wearing? That's for the people that are listening in. All right, not for the people that's creeping. All right. For the people that are listening in, and what are we talking about? So who are you? What are you wearing? And what are we talking about today?
I am CT Dotson Chambers, and today I have on a pink New Order National Human Rights t-shirt, and we are talking about my husband, Bryan Chambers, today, and him being unjustly incarcerated.
All right, so we've got something going on tomorrow. Can you tell everyone what's going on tomorrow and why is it important that they know?
Yes, tomorrow will be the actual appeal date. It is scheduled at the University of Toledo, which they only hold them there once a year. Normally it's at the courthouse. So tomorrow is his appeal for him to be able to appeal his 10 to 15 year sentence. And it is at the University of Toledo at 10 o'clock in the morning. It is on campus it's on the main campus at the hall for the legal students to be able to attend.
Okay, so we should put the poster up. All right. So Lucas County Court of Appeals. Where's my paper at, Jody? Oh, it's right here. And if there's if there's anyone that want to do some interning for technical assistance, we're hurting real bad. All right. So that's the flyer that we've been sharing online. And it's the University of Toledo Campus Paralegal School Health and Human Services Building.
Yes.
So they can put that into their location and hopefully it'll take them right there.
Yes, hopefully.
All right. Wednesday, 10 a.m. Is that when the actual review happens?
That is when the actual the appeal will start. I will be out there at 9 o'clock with some signs just to try and get support from other people that may be walking by on campus, just so that they can understand the process and see what's going on as well.
All right. So for everyone that's here, how have you been handling all of this? CSRN, we follow you online. I scour through your pages from Girl Scout cookies to letting people know what's happening to what you wore for the eclipse. How have you been through all of this, this process?
I have been, for the most part, I do good. I have my good and bad days. Of course, I'm raising a 10-year-old pretty much by myself since my husband is incarcerated. But overall, I have my faith in God, and I've been just still living life.
How's Bryan?
Bryan is doing okay. He has his ups and downs as well. Of course, prison is not the place for nobody to be. So you have your struggles trying to survive. But at this point, I mean, he's still motivated and hoping that the judges do the right thing and make the right decision.
Do you have any idea of what we can expect for tomorrow?
I don't. I've never been through this before. So I know that his attorney is confident. He's confident and feels that he has a case. And I'm just praying and trusting God.
So one of the things that we talk about in our guiding principles is self-care. And that's an essential, it's a critical part of what we do. What are some of the things that you do to help you, when you say you have your good days, you have your bad days, what brings you back good, if I could say it like that?
I would say mostly my daughter. Like, she's looking up, she's watching, she's going through as well because she doesn't have her brothers around, she doesn't have her father around. So I have to, even when I don't feel good, I have to put her on sometimes so that she can, because she's watching. And kids are always watching, and they don't understand everything, but they can understand feelings, they can understand emotions. So I try and keep a smile on my face. Even when I feel like crying, I'm still smiling. But for the most part, I stay encouraged. I make sure I take care of myself. I just came back from Myrtle Beach
Oh, okay.
on Saturday. So I take trips, I take vacations, but overall, I don't let what I can't control overtake me.
Then that brings me to my next question. How have you been received by the community?
I've had some support. I feel like in Toledo, we don't really support one another unless it's your family. If it's your family, then you want everybody to gather around. I've been an advocate long before my husband got arrested. I've been out here in the streets protesting, getting pepper sprayed by the police, and everything long before this. So it's just in me to be an advocate. Unfortunately, I've had the support from CSRN, of course, Steve, who's here in the studio. New Order, they've supported me. My pastor, he supported. So I have my family and friends, close people that are around me that have supported me. But overall, I feel like the city of Toledo, unfortunately, I haven't had a whole lot of support. I feel like the street should be, everybody should know, everybody should be speaking out, because if a father can't discipline his own child, a father can't go up to a school and pick up his own kid that lives with him, then, but if that same kid tell the police no, that they can beat him up, might even kill him.
Right.
So I feel like it should be more of an outcry. Don't wait until it's your family.
Well, I've always said that Toledo has always been politically hypocritical, and people that say that they'll be there, they're not there, and because this involves a black man, it's hard for us to stand up for black men, and particularly husbands. We always, it's always as if he got it, he'll handle it. And sometimes it's difficult for us standing up for our own, so I understand that. That's why the people that are going to root for you, going to root for you, and you'll end up finding out who's who, when it really goes down. So when we talked about you last week, and we were like, man, this is coming up on the 10th. Let's see if we can get, CD. You shared something in the group chat today. I'm like, man, cool. Let me go ahead and see what's up. And I know if Steve's going to respond. And I love that brother. I've known him for, since I was 15. All right, no, but I've known him for quite some time. And I know that if I put in the chat, if it's on, it's on, he's going to respond. And that means that we're going to come out in public. That means that we're going to tell the truth in public. That means that in order to tell the truth in public, we got to be with you. And right now you could be persona non grata in a lot of spaces in Toledo. And you're not welcome, because you're not going to throw my brother Bryan under the bus. You're not welcome because you're not going to sit back and just let justice prevail. So we want the smoke. We want to pull up. And, I said what I said. So I thank you for standing by Bryan during this. It's not easy to do, especially when everyone thinks that we're guilty. It doesn't matter. And I was telling Jody earlier, I've got 2 sons. I'll tighten them up in a minute. I wish you would record it. And I'd rather tighten them up before the Toledo police.
Absolutely.
I'd rather do that before the Highway Patrol. I'd rather do that before the University of Toledo police or ProMedica police. We got a lot of police. we got Metro Parks police, LMHA police. And a sheriff. So I would think that I'm doing them a favor by being responsible, being accountable for my son, letting him know, hey, listen, no, it ain't going down like that. But there's always someone that wants to make it look like it's not. And unfortunately, the court system got it wrong. They got it wrong. And I'm positive that if this happened in Ottawa Hills, if it happened in Sylvania, that white parent would have been a champion.
Absolutely.
All right. He or she would have been courageous from saving their child from the wiles of the streets. All right. So Bryan is our brother. We ride for Bryan, and we're gonna be there tomorrow. All right. I'm trying to decide which sign we're gonna take. All right. We may have to take the stand up sign. But we're gonna be there. You know, I'm gonna be there, and I'm sure my boss watches the podcast, so y'all already know I'm coming in late tomorrow, half a day tomorrow. All right, but I want to see justice. This is what every parent should do to stop their child from being a statistic. Jody and I engage young people week after week, trying to encourage them to think different.
Absolutely.
And we have parents that aren't allowing their children to just be taken over by media, entertainment, and other young people that may be underdeveloped.
Right.
After all, it's on us. And I didn't mean to do a little soapbox there.
That's okay.
But
I wanted to mention something else too. I met with the Toledo police chief a couple weeks ago just to talk about the influence that the police have, the disparities where you might get one call out and they go out and they tell a parent. I've seen them tell parents, hey, whoop their butts. And they tell the kid, if we come back, we're going to arrest you. And then you have the other officers. And I know of 3 cases that I spoke to the chief about where they're arresting the parents. But now they're getting ready to start holding parents accountable for the kids that are out after night. How can you arrest a parent if a kid is out after curfew if the parent has no control over the kid? So either way, we're not getting any help from our local Toledo Police Department.
No, and I'm not going to hold my breath either. That's why we got some defund the police signs that we're going to be selling. We'll bring that up later for anybody that wants to support us. There was a case in Michigan where there was 2 parents. Mm-hmm. There's a child that had a gun. The parents didn't want to intervene.
Right.
Left the child at school. The child kills 4 students. All right. So how is it that they want us to intervene in our children's lives? They want us to be responsible. And when we do, this is what happens.
Absolutely.
You know, so, you know, it's like one of those make it make sense.
Right.
You know. All right. I want to kind of put a cap on this and let everyone know that someone had asked, what's the address? Let me put that on there again. Well, it's Lucas County Court of Appeals, University of Toledo, Main Campus Paralegal School, Health and Human Services Building. I don't know if that's an actual address, but you're looking it up right now. All right. And you do that pretty good. We don't even need Jody anymore. All right. Man, Jody who? All right, man. But yeah, we're gonna I want to shout out to some of the people in the in our chat. We need to have you on more often. It seems like whenever we have you on, all right, we got more than 2 viewers. All right, that's what's up. All right, and we got Steve in the studio. A shout out to Nathaniel Livingston. He had posted that Sir Major is on trial in federal court in Toledo. That court room should be packed, so we let everybody know that's going on. Man, Travis Grant. Oh, he says, "What up, Jody?" And anybody say, "What up, brother Washington?" Man, I think my wife on here. She was like, "Peace, CD." All right, all right. Man, shout out to our brother Manuel. Jody, you got more? Man, okay. Jody. Right, now I'm getting mad. I'm clicking everybody that either love CD or they love Jody. It's all good. All right. Just going down. I got Manny on. Hey, what's up, Joe? Our brother Gerald, New Order, the founder, CEO of New Order. He says, hello, CD dots. Should I say CT?
CT.
CT. Okay, not CD, like I'm going to buy a CD.
Both.
Oh, okay.
I know who you're talking about if you say either
I'm
one.
going to say CT, Dotson Chambers, New Order family. Sister Yvette Muhammad had a peace and blessings. She didn't put my name in there, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. All right. You know, that's what Yvette always says. I'm making it about me, but I'm not going to make it about. I'm not going to make it about me. It's kind of hard not to when I'm seeing all this love. All right, for CT. Right, Dorothy's. We thank you, Dorothy. Oni King. I think I know Oni. I don't know if I work with her. If I did, my fault. All right. All right. My fault if I did work with you, Oni. Mari King says justice for Bryan. So does Oni. Oh, Oni says, yeah, she remembers that story in Michigan. So they want us to be responsible. They want us to stop our children from going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
And when we do, somebody videotapes it, it gets distorted, and here we are.
Take one Karen. All it takes is one Karen.
Right. Yeah, that's all. That's all. Oh, I've got the address here. It is 1825 West Rocket Drive. All right, Cheryl. Thanks. All right.
Thank you.
We really don't need Jody. All right. Between CT and Cheryl. Now, after y'all leave, I'll be like, hey, Jody, I was just kidding, bro. All right. Yeah, so we appreciate everyone. And okay, Joe, guess what Joe says? Jody with an exclamation mark. All right, Joe. All right, before we go, one of the things that we've been doing with our sister, Anika Fields, she has an empowerment toolbox, and she always asks us to name 3 things that we're grateful for. And we like to pass that on to you. So CT, could you give us 3 things that you're grateful for? What would those be?
I would say I'm grateful for my faith, because my faith just trusting God that things will work out. I'm grateful for my friends and family, the support that I have. And I'm grateful just for waking up every day, because things could have been worse. I might not have woke up, might not be here. So I'm grateful for all of that. And all of the support, like I said, CSRN, New Order, Sean Mahone, Steve. I appreciate having the brothers back me up.
Oh,
I mean, it's good to see Black men stand up for other Black men. And a lot of the people that I reached out to here in Toledo that I thought would help said, oh, no, that's a kid. We can't get involved. But it's a father that's doing right by his kid.
That's right.
It's a difference.
That's right. And I'm sure we'd make up any excuse to back out.
Absolutely.
Of supporting you. And we've dealt with that with CSRN. And we don't have to beg anybody for our support. If you can't, cool. And I don't want to force you to, because then you will come among us and start trouble.
Right.
So let them be where they are. I know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. I'm going to be at Lucas County Court of Appeals. And what did Cheryl say the address was? 1825 West Rocket Drive. So I'm going to just put that in my navigation. I'm going to be there. Maybe take our stand-up sign. Maybe take one of our red, black, and green flags. I don't know, Jody. We'll figure out what else we're going to take.
And I'll be out there about 9 o'clock with some signs just before the process starts, just so I can be seen and heard.
That's right. Hey, bring the megaphone. All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Like you said, Brother Washington, if it's on, it's on.
It's on. So we bring the signs, our red, black, and green flags, meaning that we mean business. We'll take a megaphone and show up on time. We ain't gonna be showing up at 12:15. Oh, was it today? You know how we do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
no, we're gonna be early.
Right, we're gonna be early. Okay, before we leave, anything that you want people to know about Bryan, if somebody's on the fence regarding coming out tomorrow, what do they need to know about Bryan and why they should show up tomorrow?
Bryan is locked up because he was railroaded, because he is a father that loved his son. He is not violent. He would never hurt his kids. He would never hurt our daughter. I wouldn't stand for a kid being hurt. I advocate for kids every day. That's what I do for a living. So the video was clear. Bryan never punched, kicked, stumped, none of that. His son, all he tried to do was get his son in the home. His son refused to go. He had ran away. So I just say, if you support any father, you should support this father. He's a loving father.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Can we have you come back? You know, maybe in a few weeks, Jody, have CT come back and let us know how things are going since Bryan is home and whatever. I can't wait to see what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm praying for the best. We're praying for the best.
The courts have, I think they got 60 days to make a decision.
Okay.
I'm trusting and hoping that they make that decision a lot sooner than 60 days. It don't take 60 days to right or wrong.
No. All right. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. This is the CSRN podcast, a weekend review. We'll be right back.
Pathway Incorporated Brothers United program believes that children are important. Every day we support and advocate for fathers because when children have involved fathers, the whole community thrives. The fathers that come into the Brothers United program are mostly young fathers who are primarily gang members or drug dealers or those involved in lots of trauma from the time when they were youth until now. The program has fatherhood classes which teach you about your role as a father, the importance of being a father, healthy relationships, how to co-parent and work better together with your co-parent, and then economic stability, how to get a job, how to keep a job. It is so important for fathers to learn to take care of their children holistically, not just emotionally, not just physically, but financially as well, because children need a holistic approach.
I really just needed help with really being a better father and looking for a job to be able to support my kids.
Some of the problems I was facing when I joined Brothers United was communication with my children. Had some time apart from each other for a while, so they gave me the tools to really get back in communication with them.
Fathers will come into our program with their heads down. 2 weeks later, their heads are up. 3 weeks later, they're laughing and talking. 4 weeks later, they're building a bond. And by the time we get to 8 weeks, they're saying, hey, we want to stay here. What can we do to stay connected?
It gave me a better perspective on how to look at things from other people's point of view. You know, sometimes us as men, we get caught up in being prideful and arrogant, thinking we don't need the help. We do. And we just have to put our pride, selfishness, and arrogance to the side. And when the help is there, take it.
Hope plays the most important role in everything that we do because we have to have hope. We have to remember that fathers are important, and we have to not only say it, but we have to live it. We have to breathe it. We have to do it. We have to convey it to everyone.
Let's get a BU Nation on 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3. BU Nation!
The dads give us hope. The dads supply for us on the days when it gets hard. On the days when we've seen more violence than we ever want to see. On the days when we've lost some dads to jail or to murder, they give us hope. And so the hope that lives can change, if you invest in them, if you believe in them, then lives can change.
Brothers United changed my life, let's say, because of where I come from, what I've been through. I learned to understand it is help out there. Don't be scared to ask for it. If you don't reach, you can't grab. That's it.
They made me more employable, more desirable by employers, which in turn helped me provide for my family and provide for my children and my grandchild. So it makes me a better man, a better father, and a better example.
It showed me like how to be better to my kids, so I went and got custody of my son. My son been with me for a couple months now. So this showed me how to be a better parent all around, just a better man, period.
Initially, I didn't know that it could change men's lives. I didn't know that fathers could change. But it's amazing to me when fathers come back a year later, 2 years later, and tell us thank you, or they'll make a Facebook post and say, look at what I'm doing now. It's amazing to me about the level of work that we've been able to do and the lives that we've changed in just a short period of time. And the fathers who come back and say, thank you, I needed you, and you were there.
And shout out to Brothers United, man.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. Jody, is coming up to that time that we're going to tie up some loose ends. I got a couple of things that I want to talk about. One, there's a neighborhood community meeting. Let me put the flyer up there. This is for the Smith Park, Inglewood, South Central. It's going to be at Mott Branch Library. That's 1010 Dorr Street. Hey, that's where we are right now. So I might try to make it out. Oh, no, you know what? I'm going to be here. I'm going to live stream it from CSRN's page. So,
awesome.
Yeah, you know what? Washington, you're a mess, bro. Live streaming on YouTube at Community Solidarity. So come on out. We'll be live streaming this. The guest speaker is going to be Councilwoman Venice Williams. We're also going to have Dr. Gwendolyn Wilson. She's going to be part of the MC and putting it together, along with the Rock the Block area and some park improvement in a timetable. So, they got light refreshments. So, yeah, I am going to be there. All right. And
yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Okay, and this is going to be Monday, the 22nd, which is this coming Monday, 5 to 6. They say they're going to start on time and end on time. So everybody come on out. If you can't be there, go to our Facebook page and our YouTube page, and we'll be streaming it live from there. The next, I always love lifting up this brother. Oh, where's my cursor? There. Rob Pasker. This brother, we met him maybe a few years ago, and he's having a Black Wealth Tour. And this is going to be on April 13th, this Saturday from 10 to 2 at the Frederick Douglass Community Center, 1001 Indiana. And what are they going to be talking about? The ABCs of home buying, the down payment assistance session, what to do with Big Mama's house. Oh, I need to know that. I have equity. Now what? Youth financial literacy, man, that is so important. When I was a youth, man, I don't even.
There was nothing. It was just get a job.
Man,
and, buy
yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say or shoplift. All right, but I shouldn't say that. We'll edit this out, that part out, and also. You talk about a career in real estate. So I think that's something that's important. CSRN definitely supports Brother Rob Pasker. Whenever CSRN needs some technical assistance, whenever we need someone that's smarter than us, we always go to Rob and he shows up. Last thing before I want to talk about the eclipse, I want to just say Assalamu alaikum to all of the Muslims out there and Ramadan Mubarak. Eid Mubarak, all of those who have went the whole 30 days of Ramadan without making any mistakes. And even if you did, hey, we ain't even counting. I remember my sister Ladina Shabazz, she had said, I am not the Ramadan police. I ain't looking in your window. Hey, check it into your car. It's on you. And if you just strive to do better, all praise be to God for that. So for everybody that completed their Ramadan, most mosques will have their Eid celebration. I'm sure the Nation of Islam will be having something on this Saturday for all the brothers and sisters that were successful. And if you weren't able to fast every day, one of the things that we did was we prepared dinners every Saturday. And I think we passed out maybe either passed out or put together maybe about 200, 300 dinners and just pass them out in the city. And good looking to, I think, the Seagate Food Bank allowed us to come in and help put together some of the boxes of food that's going to go out. So Ramadan is more than just not eating during the day. It's like our reset button, because Muslims, y'all be off too. All right. Y'all be off too. Y'all need to reset. All right. I said, y'all, like I ain't got no problems. But I said, y'all need to reset. So all praise be to God for that. Now I really want to get to the eclipse yesterday. Jody, were you able to get out? And what was that experience for you?
Yeah. It was definitely, so I've seen, I'm not sure if 2017 was a partial or a lunar. I have to look back and see which one it was, but that was my last one as an adult. I mean, I probably saw him when I was younger, but that was the first one I intentionally went to. I think that's different once you become an adult and all the stuff that you go to with your family and everything, and you just start deciding what you want to do, what's your personality and stuff. So I went there, and it's kind of interesting because my artwork, you can't see it, but if you go on my page and stuff, it keeps coming up later. So when before the Glass City River Walk, and they're still building it and all that stuff, but the park, which we opened in, I believe it was either 2019 or 2020, doing the first Juneteenth festival there, I tag stuff. I don't tag stuff as much now because I got stickers and everybody kind of knows who I am. So it did its job. But if you look on this artwork that's on my hoodie and on the other stuff, I'm sitting on a rock looking at the city from that point of view. That was not there when that artwork was done, and there's a eclipse above the owl. But so seeing that, witnessing it, and I don't know, I think people see me as an entertainer and think I always want to be a part of the party. Not really. Last year I did 527 shows. This year I'm on 103, and you have to self-care. Have downtime.
That's
if
right.
I'm always surrounded by crowds, that's a lot of people touching me. That's a lot of just giving my energy out without too much reciprocation, because I may never see you again. And that happens a lot. So I was trying to find some place secluded, and I wound up at the park, which wasn't. But then again, if you go down by the water to where like the last step is, I have a little spot there. So I got to sit there and enjoy it. I took some video before, after, got to see the whole phenomenon. Because if you one of those people like, oh, it's not that big. No, it is. As it gets totality, and all the stuff they say does happen. The weather changes, everything gets quiet. You see nature, depending on where you are. I saw some people that were in like a forest area, and you could see the leaves and how they make different shapes on the ground and stuff like that. And then the temperature got cold, and after the totality, it gets really warm. At least that was my experience. It was like, wait a minute, it's warm now, so are we okay? But it was really good to see kids for the first time see it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
See it go dark, and yeah, I'm glad I got good video of it. I mean, my camera's like 4 years old, so I don't care what nobody else got. I saw y'all photos. They look awesome too.
Yeah.
I know I was looking at my camera when I took it, and that's kind of all that matters. So I'll put a collage or something of that together soon enough. What about you?
And can you share that to our page?
I can. Yep,
all right.
I can.
All right. Well, I was, I'll be talking about the stuff that I do during the day. I'm supposed to be working during the day, but on my lunch break, all right, on my lunch break, I drove by Wildwood Park, and I thought, you know what? This would be great if I can get Yvette to come back with me. And she was down for it. I guess she worked like I work too. All right. Shout out to her job. Both of us fired. It's all good. It's all good. All right. And yeah, that was like nothing I've ever seen before. And I think that I always say that I think that I've seen a lot of stuff, and I take pride in myself by saying that not too much surprised me, but that was something that I've never seen. So I can't just look, I can't be like, yeah, no, man, that was something that I was fortunate.
Yeah,
I was very fortunate to see.
And I gotta say that too, as a walking Sasquatch. I've sat and meditated under waterfalls. I've climbed mountains. I've been to the Grand Canyon in Japan and all the other kind of touristy spots, New Orleans, New York, all that other stuff. Not really good on tropical places. I don't like heat too much, but that was, even for what people don't know, I was homeless for a decade, which meant I lived outside, sometimes sheltered, sometimes not. And even in that experience, I never got to experience nature like that moment. So that was really, really good to see and be a part of an experience.
All right, now I wanted to bring up, when you talk about experience, Sunkist is doing the Tell Your Untold Stories.
Yes.
And that's coming up. And we love our sister. We promote our sister. This is Friday the 12th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., which means that I will be in bed by 6:30. So don't look for me to show up, but we do want to support our sister in everything that she's doing. Are you going to be a part of this?
Yes, I will actually be performing, and I'll be on the door because she put a call out this morning. And luckily, these days I get up at like 6 a.m. because I have to run a restaurant and everything. And so I'll be the person at the door before all the performances and stuff. So that should be fun. This is the second one. I will have a post up for herbal friendly people. The 19th, we are doing an herbal friendly people show.
Okay. All right. All right. Hey, y'all know what that is. All right.
420 friendly on 419.
Okay, you didn't have to say
419
420.
day.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, just add another day on Twitter. It's 420. All right. Hey, listen, also this Sunday, the 14th, there's our Time to Break the Silence event. And every year, a lot of the community members come together and we read live. There's a live reading of Dr. Martin Luther King's Vietnam speech. Everyone loves Dr. King, from the narrative of hand holding and what is it called? What is not
gentrified,
not segregation, but integration. They love Dr. King, the integrationalist,
the nice, happy Negro. I'm sure.
But no, you don't have to. But there was another part of Dr. King, you know, when he decided that these white liberals were leading him to a burning house. And he decided, hey, look, I need to do something different. So Dr. King didn't die for his dreams. He was murdered. So they always say he died. No, he didn't die. He was murdered. So every year we have this this gathering, and it's going to be at Monroe Street Church. This is at 3613 Monroe Street. We get a chance to put up our CSRN table with all of our stuff on it, and we need to take a picture. We got probably the dopest table in the city. All right. I don't know if there's anything blacker than that. All right. There's even a teddy bear that says in police immunity now. I can't breathe, and it's got a Jesus loves you on its foot. All right.
White tears have a tissue.
And we call it now. That's Louis Barracon. That's all right. That's the name of the bear. So that's what's up. And not only to the extreme, I won't say extremely black stuff. We even got a proclamation by the Lucas County.
Yep.
All right. So that's
for doing good work and stuff. You can't buy them; those have to be earned.
Right.
I'm happy that we have several.
Right.
Over the years, but also you won't see something that you will see on other people's tables as a sponsor. There's no Nike, there's no Reebok, there's no basketball team or football team.
Hey, y'all, if y'all out there, not that it wouldn't be nice, all right? So this is where me and Jody part ways. All right. I love y'all. All right. Oh man. So no, we don't do that. If you want to support CSRN, support the things that we do, but we're not going to go through that thing of someone giving us $1 and we're going to be something else. All right.
We actually don't do scheduled fundraisers. Shut up.
Man, you just gave me an idea. Family, we need to have a scheduled fundraiser. Jody is, I don't know if he mentioned, he's the treasurer of CSRN. And anything that's donated to us, he has his hands so tight on those nickels and dimes. I can't say, hey, can we get more water? No, brother. Y'all can have 3 waters. Damn, bro. I'm a grown damn man. What am I gonna do with 3 water? All right. So there's not too many men that I know that are honorable when it comes to mining the resources of the things that we get for the support. So I love you for that, brother. And there's no other person that I would want with me in that capacity. There's a lot of people that I know I wouldn't mind holding up signs. All right. You can Steve, you can hold that sign up. All right. But Jody, we need you to take care of this part right here. Jody, I got a couple other things that I really want. I did the Dr. King. I wanted to talk about the Change Tour, and that's our brother, Dr. V. Victor Coleman, our brother Holden Hollingsworth, and our sister Tierra Deshay. These are 3 motivational speakers, 3 professionals, beautiful, beautiful young people. And they actually have a tour. It's called the Change Tour. Change is possible. And they're going through Cleveland, Detroit. They were in Cleveland earlier this week, and I saw them post that they're going to be in Detroit. Hey, they're coming back to Toledo, Bedford, Ohio, Indianapolis, Washington, D.C., Minneapolis, Minnesota, and New Orleans. I talked to Victor, and I was telling him what you're doing are the answers to all of the prayers that we pray about. Nothing's going to fall out of the sky. It's going to come from you young people. So we support them. And Dr. V, if there's anything, Dr. V, the speaker, if there's anything that we can do to help promote what you all are doing even more, let us know. Or even stop by, anytime.
We would love to have you guys on the show. And I believe some again. Well, Tierra is one of our former recipients. So.
Of the Black Lives Matter Award.
And I think
we got it right.
Yeah.
We got it right by giving her a Black Lives Matter Award. That's right. Okay, yeah.
And everybody's giving a CD one as well. What did we give? So far, I used to know a count. I think it's 23 awards. So far
it could be.
Yeah,
it could be.
But
we should have mentioned that when we did this CD thing. We didn't say the Black Lives Matter Award. All right.
Yeah. But that was another proud achievement for me to approve too, and I think being the treasurer is a very big privilege to have because it's not your money. A lot of people, I guess, hear my titles and stuff, and they try and get me in rooms, be like, "Hey, could you help us?" And I'm like,
hell no,
hours right now.
He can't help us.
Exactly.
He ain't trying to help us, and I love it. I love it. I love it, Jody.
To help myself, I wrote books.
Sir.
I travel all the time. I make artwork, and a percent of that, this is in a way how I pay my tithes. The boards and community organizations I speak of all the time, I donate back. Because what would be the point of earning anything if you don't give back to your community? So,
hey, I got one other article, and then we need to
do some loose ends. Talk about my birthday.
All right. Hey, but it's already 7:06, and they're going to be flicking the lights on in the library soon. Hey, I want to bring up this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. This is the newspaper that is published by the Nation of Islam. Is it a Muslim newspaper? No, it's a newspaper. Oh man, y'all killing me today. This one is called Hijacking HBCUs. One of the things that's happening now is a overcritical audits that are happening with these schools, and there's no founding reason to audit them the way that they are. outside of being underfunded. If you're online, go to finalcall.com. If you can get your digital subscription of the Final Call during the pandemic, we stopped selling Final Calls for, I think, maybe 2 years. And if you wanted a Final Call, you had to get it digitally. But we're back on the streets with the Final Call newspaper. Check out this article, because just because our young people are in college does not mean that they're not having struggles too. So check that out. We even had a college. Did we have a college scholarship?
Yes, we did.
All right.
Did have a college scholarship where we gave out three prizes to different teams. And, when we do go over our 10-year or decade legacy, I'm going to pull up a lot of those photos.
Yeah, pull that up.
And information and stuff. I got to start putting more stuff on the page. It's just, the minutia of life and only being one person.
All right. It is 7:07. We got to be out of here. We got to top some loose ends.
So, going over everything that you guys might have missed since last Tuesday, we'll start with Wednesday. Was my 41 cycles around this little blue rock, and it was awesome.
All right.
I went to Columbus, got to see Otherworld, and eventually at some point, I can already believe it's been a week. I'll put the video up for that and give you at least an experience, because I want you to go yourself. I'm not going to, show you everything that's in Otherworld, but it was awesome. I also got to perform in Columbus, because whenever I travel, my goal is to enjoy myself, find an open mic, and find stuff to bring back for my community.
Okay.
And I accomplished all that. I even got my sister to try the Buckeye Donuts, because she had never tried them. So that was awesome. And I performed at a place called the Cauldron for the open mic. So hopefully we'll get some of those. And then we did have some entertainers on the 4th, because we're going to move this along rather quickly. Major shout out to K. Renee and the Poetry and Soul, which is where my career started all those years ago. We had a birthday edition where we invited 2 poets from Columbus, and they were awesome features. Everybody else that came out, it was another packed house and sold out show. And again, thank you to everybody that put money in the pot and donated for my birthday and got me cupcakes and made me feel all good, special, and warm and fuzzy inside. It was very nice. As a friend told me outside during intermission, that we did it because you celebrate everybody and you don't celebrate yourself that much.
That's true.
Which I got to start doing is just, minutia of stuff. But thank you again. We can't wait to see you the first Thursday. So the first Thursday in May, we'll be doing the Poetry and Soul session. Again, there are some other things like the open mic. Tomorrow is an open mic at Toll House where I'll be performing. So come down there with DJ Sin and everything for that.
I need to get down there too.
Yeah, it'll be my first time there. I might do it next week again too.
Okay.
But I'll be there, and that's every single Wednesday. This Thursday also, they're doing the live painting again. So shout out to Gutter Dave, Toll House, DJ Sin, and everybody involved in that. Last week, we had the 2024-2025 1-year action plan for Toledo. So hopefully you made it. If you want to know what the city is doing with the budget and your taxpayer dollars and all that stuff, there was the Friday, because we're going to be going back and forth in my brain. 5 Poets, 5 Parks sold out show at the Glass City Riverwalk. Shout out to Joni and all the poetry community, because it is National Poetry Month as we get into 5 minutes of heat after this. So if you are creative in any way, I can't say I'm slacking, because I've done 30 days of writing so much that I have a book in another year or two that's going to have around 100 poems from the 5 years that I did it consistently. So if you're working on your 30 days, awesome for you. If you have writer's block, still awesome. At least you know something you got to get going, and just keep going. No matter what if it's something small or something big, art is beautiful, especially if you create it. Screw AI. Saturday, there was the April 6th to 13th annual business expo. Shout out to Danetta Carter and continuing.
Oh, that's right. We need to have her back.
Yes, we need to have her back. It's called pop-up shops now, but they really like trade shows. If you think of it that way, people that create stuff, branding, labeling, all that stuff. But to have a space to do that is amazing. That was the 419 Get the Lead Out. Saturday, April 6th. Got a Dave Injunction Coalition, I know, was the big push behind that. So hopefully you were able to do that. April, Lifeline, April 6th. So shout out to Steve North. I was a part of that. Next month, I think we're going back out to bonfires and stuff. So look for that and everything coming up. Also, that Saturday was the open deck. Shout out to lots of people in my head, but shout out to everybody that does the EDM scene. And I think that is most of the stuff that I was a part of or not. And of course, the eclipse. So that rounds us back up to today. And if I missed anything, just let us know. You can tag me or CSRN.
That's
also
right.
Brother Washington, because you know that could get hectic. If you got something going on in the city, whether it be an open mic, a creative thing, a protest, let us know, because we would love to use our platform to help educate those who may not know in the city of Toledo and surrounding areas.
All right, as we get ready for 5 minutes of heat, I'm going to pay some bills. We want you to, what do we want you to do? We want you to subscribe to our YouTube, like, share, comment, let us know that you're out there. Our YouTube, just put in community solidarity. Before you even type another letter, it should drop down. And also not only subscribe, but click the notifications so that every time that we have our weekend review, that you can know that it's on, and let other people know too. If you want to support us, you can support us via Cash App, CSRN 419, PayPal, CSRN 419, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Listen to us on Spotify. Follow us on YouTube. Please, we're trying to get up to, what is it, 100,000 to get one of those?
To get a little plaque.
YouTube plaque. All right, right. Or also follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter. We're going to start posting more on Twitter. Even some of your thoughts. For that. Even some of your thoughts, all right? And that'll be a CSRN thought. We still have our Black Lives Matter signs. We got a few in the studio, but we got some that have not been touched by my hands as much. So that way you get a nearly brand new sign. We still have a few of the defund the police signs. You could be one of the first on your block to post that sign. You know that we're into that silly political season, and you can stand out on your block just like I do on our community garden. We got a really nice sign out there, and soon we're going to have our CSRN Toledo red, black, and green signs for your lawn or for whatever your promotional needs are. I think that's it, Jody. And we're going to do something called 5 minutes of heat. Where did that term come from? Well, back in I guess the late 80s or early 90s, there was a rap group called Houdini, and I love rap. And they had this song called 5 Minutes of Funk. And when we were meeting in person, at the end of the meeting, we didn't have a gavel. We would have, we want a creative expression. And we're like, if you could rap, you could poetry, if there was I don't care, whatever it was, we wanted to do something different. And Jody, he had said, well, I'm not going to do a Jody voice, all right, because he's right here, all right. He said, I've got a poem, but he didn't look to me then. He didn't look like somebody that would have a poem. He didn't look like somebody that could write a book, but he did. He didn't look like someone that would write another book, and he did. He didn't look like somebody that was a chef, but he is. All right. So either something was wrong with him or something wrong with me in the way that we judge people and perceive people. So he rocked the poem, and he's been our resident 5 minutes of heat person. So Jody, what do you have for us today?
So as I'm sticking and standing on business and trying to complete all my promises this month, either next week or before the end of the month, I will start manuscripting out Childhood Traumas series volume 2.
That's what's up.
Still working on the middle title. It comes to me every now and then, a dream, but then I get busy. But this will be book number 17. And I saw something about High Ruth.
Yeah. Joe, Joe says, I missed Ruth. Her
Yeah.
energy was contagious. So we've
We
had
all
people,
miss Ruth.
look, we've had people shouting you out. We've had people shouting out CD. We
Somebody share some love for Brother Washington.
No, only person that was Steve. And I'm glad he put it in all caps. That made me feel special that he took the time to put it in all caps.
I actually met a guy named, and that keeps reminding me, I met a guy at the Eclipse. His name is Steve. So I'm going to keep remembering that too.
So we love Ruth Leonard. We're looking forward to maybe getting her back on.
Yeah.
Or maybe
that
virtual.
would be awesome.
That's what's
Have
up.
Some good feminine energy in here and see what she's been doing with the classroom and all that good stuff.
All right. So what do we have today?
Is again, book number 17 is going to come out. So I'm about to go into my dungeon and start clickety-clacking away and manuscripting and illustrating all the rest of the pages. We are going to take you, last week was Simple Man, which started my career. The week before that was Blip, which I will be reading at the Pan-African flag raising for next year. So when we raise the flag again for Black History Month, I will be reading Blip, my words. But this is how the book will start for that book. It's called, and you might have heard it before, The Hardest Lesson that I've Ever Had to Learn. So let's begin. Peace. The hardest lesson I've ever had to learn. It's not their mission or their job to love you. It's yours. Friends, family, partners, business or otherwise, children or even your spouse. It's not their job or their mission to love you. It's yours. You have to love you before you can let anyone else decide that you are acceptable. Yes, acceptable to be loved. It's part of building those boundaries and knowing at the end of the day, you still have yourself. It's not their job to love you. It's yours. This aching pain of wanting to be worthy in someone else's eyes will fracture every time you see someone else go. Until you accept it's not their job to love you, it's yours. Once you learn to love you, nothing will be able to throw you off balance or make you feel weak because you aren't strong enough to keep them by your side. It's one of the hardest lessons to learn, to accept that you, yes, you are enough. And if anyone, anything, or situation does not see it, it is okay to let them go. It's not their job or mission to love you. It's yours. So love yourself today. For every unique, miracle-inspiring creation manifesting new realities exploding into the universe that you are. You are love. Just remember to keep some of that for yourself. In peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. Jody, once again, brother, we appreciate everything that you give to this, and I've been very fortunate to be a partner in this activist, protest, advocate type thing with you. And
I am happy to have found my village,
all right,
my tribe after 30 years of trying and all of that other stuff. This has been a good decade of ups and downs and lows and triumphs. So happy to be here.
All right. Looks like somebody shouted me out. Not that I'm making it about me. All right. Not that I'm just being so shallow and petty that I make it about me. All right. But it is what it is. Hey, family, as always, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. And Black lives can't matter until
all Black lives matter.
Just